Gwent police really aren't doing much to help themselves. 2 weeks ago I reported how the Senate Conservative leader Andrew Davies criticised the force and its leadership by Pam Kelly after Wiltshire police were drafted in to try and cover up the majority of the filth permeating through Gwent police force, whilst also throwing a few sheep to the wolves, so it looks like something's actually being done. Which has all come about since the revelation of the mobile phone of former plod Ricky Jones, who, by all accounts, was an absolute bastard to his family, held proof of misogyny, racism, homophobia and even corruption within the South Wales Police Force. And even with all that going on, even with Pam Kelly's neck firmly on the line, the force has decided to remain as transparent as always and refused to release video footage that was seen during the misconduct hearing of PC Simon Rohman last week, in which it showed him while off duty hitting a man inside the brewhouse in Cardiff. Rohman was out in Cardiff in September 2021 when he got into a physical and verbal altercation with two members of the public. He was ultimately restrained by door staff and then arrested for being drunk and disorderly. Gwent Police Force's misconduct notice stated that PC Rohman faces the following two allegations. On September the 30th, 2021 in Cardiff city centre, he was asked to leave the brewhouse following a physical and verbal altercation with two members of the public, which resulted in him being restrained by door staff in public view and his arrest for being drunk and disorderly. On September the 30th, 2021 in Cardiff city centre, while inside the brewhouse, he was involved in a physical and verbal altercation with two members of the public and can be seen on CCTV, hitting one of them with a closed fist. At his misconduct hearing, he was found to have breached the standards of professional behaviour to the level of gross misconduct and was handed his arse on a plate with his P45 teeth tucked neatly between the cheeks. In my last report about this, I said the hearing is being chaired by Gwent Police Chief Constable Pam Kelly, so I can't imagine any other outcome for PC Rohman or Roman or Roman or whatever after all the trouble Pam Kelly's been facing recently. So I'm going to predict that. Another one bites the dust. And I was right. Pam Kelly really needs to be showing a no-tolerance approach with the rest of the vile, despicable behaviour the force has been displaying, and this means that there's very little movement in the way of outcomes for naughty Gwent police constables and the misconduct hearings. But the footage of Rohman hitting the member of the public will not be released to the public, according to Pam Kelly. This decision has been criticised by Newport West MP Ruth Jones, who says it was reassuring to hear over the weekend that as a result of an expedited process from Gwent Police that an officer has been expelled from the force for assaulting a member of the public. From reporting, it is clear that the behaviour fell well below the standards we expect of members of the police force. What is troubling, however, is that the CCTV and bodycam footage of the incident, which were integral in the decision being made, were not made available during the hearing or afterwards. Nobody wants a media circus, but Gwent Police need to recognise that transparency is more important than ever while they seek to build back trust with the public. Now, this isn't the first time that transparency was on Chief Constable Pam Kelly's mind, as she allowed a misconduct hearing for 3 senior Gwent police officers to be held in private over allegations of inappropriate touching and inappropriate conversations. In that instance, former Chief Superintendent Mark Warrender, former Chief Superintendent Mark Budden and former Chief Inspector Paul Staniforth were all dismissed for their behaviour, although Warrender retired before he could be sacked, but Budden's and Staniforth's suspension alone cost taxpayers more than £500,000. Detective Superintendent Sam Payne, Head of Professional Standards at Gwent Police, said the misconduct hearing for PC Rohman was advertised on the website and was open to members of the public as well as the media to apply to attend. The full details of the allegations and the outcome were publicised through a press release to media and on our website. The summary of the hearing will also be available online within 5 working days in line with the national guidance. As a public hearing in which media were in attendance, the full details of the officer's off-duty actions were disclosed and he was dismissed. It is therefore disappointing to hear that this is not seen as a transparent process. Now, I trust the police about as far as I can throw them, and since they've all got fat that wouldn't be very far, but it wouldn't surprise me if the police say it's a public hearing, but when members of the public called to inquire about attending are told that there's no seats left, whilst not actually giving the public a chance to fill the seats. Then, while letting some of the press attend under the condition that photos and videos are not taken within hearing, they allow some of the police staff to fill the empty police chairs, so the press assume that those are from the public, and in so doing keep the public in the dark while only allowing the press to report certain things. I'm not saying that's what happens, by the way. I'm saying it wouldn't surprise me if it was happening. Either way, there are organisations out there with far more weight behind them than me, and so I will have to let them do the job of chasing up the release of the video. But if I do find out more, then I will of course let you know. And a note for Pam Kelly: you really need to consider that you need the public on side more than ever. Your position needs to be considered carefully in light of everything that's gone on under your watch in Gwent Police, and I do hope we don't see you take another role at another force before you can be held accountable for the shit show that you currently run.